Some might call it a holiday miracle. The price of gas here in Southern California keeps dropping. Today in LA County, a tank of gas costs about $4.80. That's 35 cents less than a month ago. Gas is probably the only bright spot. Everything else, from rent to food to insurance, just keeps going up. And that is one of the many reasons why Americans are carrying a record amount of debt in 2023. For more, let's bring in personal finance expert Lynnette Khalfani-Cox. You may know her as the Money Coach. Her new book, her 16th book, is titled Bounce Back, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Resilience. Congratulations on the book. Welcome back to the Fox 11 News at 6.
Thank you. Very much happy to be joining you for this conversation. Super important at this time.
Yeah, and of course, we can tell that she's really smart because she's a graduate of the University of Southern California, Annenberg School like me. So fight on to you.
Trojans,
yeah.
Go Trojans.
All right, debt, something so many people are dealing with. Talk to us about the stats here, the actual scope of this problem.
Sure. Well, we know that Americans, frankly, are very much deep in debt, all kinds of debt, unfortunately. Research from the Pew Research Center shows that about 80% of Americans owe somebody something. They owe mortgage debt to the tune of $12 trillion. Student loans, we got $45 million who owe college debt. That tops $1.6 trillion. Auto loan debt is also at $1.6 trillion. And now credit card debt has hit a record $1+ trillion. Not to mention, of course, a lot of what we are seeing this holiday season, a huge surge in borrowing via buy now, pay later. And again, that's a form of debt. It's borrowing. Most folks are thinking that they're going to, pay it off in 6 weeks or so, make 4 payments. But unfortunately, we're seeing the trend is that a lot of them have extended those buy now, pay later agreements even over a couple of years. So the debt problem is absolutely widespread.
Yeah, there's been so much conversation about inflation. Is that what this is all about? Is there something else going on here?
Well, you just alluded to, for example, how, in California and Southern Cal, gas prices moderating a bit, right? And I think that's actually the trend nationwide. We absolutely are seeing inflation moderating, and that's great news. The problem is that prices are still relatively high versus, say, where they were pre-pandemic. So whether it's gas, food prices, housing costs, electronics, clothing, everything costs more. So yes, I do think that inflation is a bit of the problem here and why we're seeing people in debt. Some folks would even say price gouging is a part of it as well. But let's just say, rising costs of goods and service all the way pretty much across the board. But then there's another factor, which is us as Americans and the ways in which we tend to be consumers and spenders, right? So many of us, I remember when I'm a Gen Xer, and I remember this expression about, people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? Which meant that you see what your neighbor has, maybe the car they're driving, or maybe your colleague on the job and you see what car they have, and you're trying to keep up with them and drive the same car. Well, in this era of social media and everything being so widespread in terms of access to information, now it's like not just trying to keep up with the Joneses, but trying to keep up with like the Kardashians, the billionaires of the world.
Beyonce.
So, right, exactly. People see what's on social media, which is obviously a very carefully curated image for most folks. But then they try to emulate that. They kind of see, oh, this person is traveling and is going to Europe, or this person did this big old sweet 16 party for their daughter, or, wow, look at the proposal that this guy made and put such a big rock on her finger, whatever it is, right? And so people are constantly comparing themselves and thus spending more as well.
You're not posting the top of ramen or the peanut butter and jelly dinner that you ate.
Exactly.
All right, so you're the coach. Coach us here. We're in debt. How do we bounce back in 2024? Well,
fortunately, there are many strategies that people can use to bounce back from debt in 2024 and beyond. I'm a person who had $100,000 in credit card debt, so I know what I'm talking about. And yes, when I got into grad school at USC, I had $40,000 in student loans as well. I've obviously paid them all off. Now, one of the things I first tell people to do is ask for help. So many people think that I got myself into this mess, I have to get myself out. No, actually, you don't. You should try to get the help and resources that you need. If you're struggling with mortgage debt, for instance, call up your lender. Ask, do they have a loan modification, a forbearance, a workout program that can help? If you're struggling with student loan debt, find out whether or not you qualify for income-based repayment programs. Biden administration has made a lot of flexible loan payments available. In some cases, people can pay $0 or as little as $25 even, and have that count towards repayment status. Again, ditto for your credit card bills. If you owe credit card debt, it never hurts to call up your lender, the credit card issuer, and say, do you have a lower interest rate, especially if you're being solicited? Listen, I received an offer in the mail for 8.9%.
Sure.
Can you match or beat that offer? So you absolutely want to ask for help. Then you can do a whole slew of other things. You can, start selling things that you don't need. A lot of us have things that we no longer want, need, or use.
Yeah.
You can use tax refund checks. You can use windfalls or unexpected lump sums of money as well to pay. And you can double and triple those minimum payments on those credit cards. Bottom line, minimum payments now in the short run really mean maximum payments in the long run. So you want to be aggressive about paying off that debt once and for all.
Well said. The book is Bounce Back, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Resilience. It comes out January 4th. You can pre-order it now on Amazon. Lynnette Khalfani-Cox, the money coach, thanks so much.